allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, 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 okay? Okay. So breathe through this. Breathe through this. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Feeling safe and being safe, it's 2 different things. And I think the most important thing is to feel safe. Because sometimes we can go through a lifetime of trauma, be in a better place, but cannot appreciate it because we're so used to feeling unsafe or anxious or in a constant state of fight or flight. So it's okay. It's okay to feel safe. All that you've grown in your life, all the work you've done to cleanse and to work and to get yourself to be the person that you are today. It's amazing. That also means there are some qualities and some traits that were helpful for you that you have to make peace with and let go now. Traits that cannot come with you into this next iteration of yourself. And that's the fear-based motivation. That's anxiety, the anxiousness being used to motivate you to get to the next level. And that's just the constant thinking of thoughts as well that are not necessarily helpful. And overall, just having a pessimistic outlook at life. I can completely understand that life can create that outlook. But if you've been able to change your circumstances, if there have been many people, opportunities, situations that helped you to become rebirthed into life, then that means there's an opportunity to change the mind as well. So just changing the mind here, going through this, going through this, going through this, going through this. You went through it, but you don't have to keep going through it. And there's been this, what I want to describe, energetic cycle that's happened to all of us in the last 7 years. And it was almost like, I would say probably 2015, 2016. Everything was kind of on track to where it was. And it's almost like you were instantly transported into a totally new set of rules in an alternate reality. And you've been trying to acclimate ever since then. But now that you have finally acclimated, you're finally like, okay, I get this. You're now being transported back into what you should be doing. But you're a different person. And the whole purpose of this cycle was to get you ready for whatever was to come that you weren't ready for back then. So sometimes the challenges that show up in life are here to prepare us for the greatness that we have in the future. But a part of being able to pursue the things that we love, the things that we want, a space and an awareness to know how to use these resources. Because when we're younger, we don't quite understand what's going on. We're relying on people around us to interpret the messages. And if they're not good at interpreting messages, but now you can interpret your own messages. Now you have the power to change whatever is coming up in your life. And so you have greatness that you're working on, that you're building, that you're growing. But at the same time, in order to be able to have that greatness, to work through that, because when you're building something important, that can be challenging too. Okay, that can be challenging too. Things can be boring, things can be frustrating, there can be setbacks. Sometimes you get a lot of kind of a work, so you have to do a lot of things at one time. So all of those things, they're coming up. But you had to be ready, and you had to be prepared. You have to have a different mindset. And so the person that you used to be is in conversation with the person that you are now. And you have to make peace with that version of yourself and let them be in the past. And grow into this next version of yourself. You need peace. You can't do this greatness stuff if you are in a constant state of anxiety, if you're constantly worrying about the past and in these states of depression, if you're constantly worrying about the future in these states of anxiety. Now, I get it, it's not that simple, it's not that black and white. If you could push off feeling uncomfortable, turn it off, that would be easy. But that's a part of your path to figure out what you need to do to heal. But the clues are everywhere. That is how I healed myself. The clues were everywhere. From every healer I went to every doctor I went to every moment in my own solitude, to the connections to the people around me, to pursuing things that had nothing to do with my health but made me happy. The clues were everywhere. So that's where it is. If you want to relieve the anxiety, if you want to relieve the depression, if you want to heal the trauma, you have to be willing to work at getting yourself to where you need to be. You gotta be willing to play the game of healing, the game of life, the game of healing. Sometimes that means therapy. Sometimes that means changing your environment, the people around you. Sometimes that means seeking a new doctor, a different perspective. It always means having a collective and a team of people who are here to help you. Changing your mindset, not giving up when you hit a wall. Knowing that no matter what is going on health-wise, that there is still a fire inside of you that can make the decision that you are going to live out to your greatness, your potential, and all of that. And as long as that fire is still burning within you, you will get to your path. It's inevitable. I'm just telling you the way that I see it and the way that it happened to me. But feeling safe is important, so take some breaths. Expand, take up space. Because sometimes not taking up space can be a part of the issue, wanting to shrink down, wanting to not be seen, underneath the veil, sight is mediumship and clairvoyance. In front of the veil, where we live in our everyday life, sight is your visualization or your co-creation of life. It doesn't matter which one you have or which one you want to use. It is up to you to decide, and it's really cool because we all have the ability to have the visualization and the co-creation, and it's so powerful because with sight, with mediumship and clairvoyance, we're receiving messages and we're taking things as they are. But when we have the visualization, or we have the ability to see what is right in front and co-create, we have the power. It doesn't matter what we think the future will be, or what we're trying to receive a message of like, oh, what will the future be? Please tell me. It's not that. It's what do I want it to be? And ask the universe. We are all in a partnership with the universe, or whatever you connect to. We're all in a partnership. We're all in the best partnership. So if you ever been in toxic relationships, this might be a little bit hard concept to work through. But we're all in the best partnership. The universe says, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. So you have to decide what is important to you. Tell me what you want. And many people don't know what they want. That's what gets people tripped up. They're trying to do everything because they don't know what they want. But you do know what you want. But sometimes there's a fear that going after what you want, you might lose out on something. Maybe the opportunity cost of something. Don't worry about that. Just know that if you are going to do whatever this thing is, rain or shine, when it's boring, when it's fun, then it's a part of your purpose. And it doesn't matter if anybody else agrees with you. Who cares? It's a part of your purpose. And that is why you are in this experience. To share with others, to bring light to us, so we can see that gift that you brought with you within this experience. So understand that you're on the right path. That everything you've experienced is normal. A lot of people experience difficult times and have to learn how to get to the other side. And even getting to the other side takes time. So you don't have to pressure yourself to be perfect. Just know you don't have to do it on your own. Always reach out for help. Always appreciate the support that's around you, and always change the support if it is not what you need. All of this is helping you. Even on an esoteric level, connecting to your guides, your archangels, your ancestors, your Orisha, whatever it is that you connect to, all here to help and guide you. But you have to be open and connect, and that's trusting yourself, which we did. Having unconditional love for yourself. And you have to feel safe, because only when you feel safe will you actually be able to build a house. You know, if you didn't feel safe somewhere, you're like, I'm not going to build a house here, I'm going to keep moving. And if you've been in a constant state of movement your whole life, it feels like that, never feeling like any place is certain. But it's time to take roots. It's time to anchor down. It's time to feel safe. And this time, nothing outside of you creates safety. It is what's inside of you that creates safety. You're the commonality. You have to look no further around. Just look within yourself. personality, and it took a lot of work to get this cheesy and this corny. It took a lot of work, and I work hard each and every day to get a little bit more cheesier, because life is not about worrying about things all the time. You got the obstacles, work through the obstacles, but enjoy. Be nice to your nervous system. Be nice to your body. And sometimes, I can say from my personal experience, I had to remove myself from the environment that reinforced the old behaviors. Family, friends, love, career. That's why I'm always talking about these things. There's been many a times where I had to be with myself in my own space, because I needed to feel a way that I hadn't been taught, I hadn't been exposed to, but I believed I could have. We all have that ability. So to the best of your ability, find that space in your life for yourself. Find that space you can do it. So take a couple more breaths here. Relax into this. Smoothing over. So I'm going to smooth you over, okay? And I'm going to seal you with the sign of the infinity and say, if no one has said it, babies, love you. But who cares that I love you? The only thing that matters is that you love you, you know? It's not about the outside, it's about the inside. So love yourself each and every day. It is being times where your exes come back. Time for you to deeply think about where Venus energy and Capricorn energy meshes, because it is in Capricorn. And all of those things are important. I think the most important part is a deep reflective time. Hear this and hear me well. And this applies to all types of retrogrades. If you try to do the work during a retrograde period outside of yourself, it's going to look like a hot mess. But you will always be supported by the universe if you do the work inside of you. That's why during Mercury and retrogrades, you're supposed to be doing planning. You're not really supposed to be initiating anything. This is a time where, instead of going outside of yourself, and now that you feel the way that this Venus and retrograde is going to make you feel, instead of quickly looking for a solution, sit and reflect on your feelings. We lose so many of these beautiful life lessons by being too afraid to just sit with our feelings. Protect your energy and protect your boundaries, baby. Okay? Not everybody's allowed in your space during this time. So if you do got an ex who's trying to creep on back in, you could be like, but protect yourself and reflect and grow, because this is a maturity of the soul in these levels of love. And the most mature sign we have is Capricorn. You know, Capricorn is Saturn ruler. Capricorn is about discipline, delayed gratification, maturity, you know, all of that stuff. You are safe. And so having that, you are safe. Energy there. So, what's going to show up for you, babies? There's going to be opportunities for you to think, what makes me feel safe? And also understand that the way we look at love does not just include romantic scenarios. We're talking about the way that you were shaped when you were born in your family. We're talking about Platonic friendships. We're talking about being in groups, in collectives, and communities of people where you all share a passion for something and you have that collective love, you know. All of those different things will come up for your contemplation, for your clarity, and ultimately to understand what your soul needed to learn from those experiences in order to move on. So what you're going to be feeling is, or asking yourself, or the question that comes up is, have you ever felt safe in love? Think of a scenario or a situation if you've ever felt safe in love, where you know that person is going to love you back. You know that person is dependable. We got to think of these Capricorn themes. That person is dependable. Okay? For some, you may have never felt safe in love. And that might be a reflection that comes up during this time. Wow. And if you're one who has never felt safe in love, your journey up into this point probably was, how can you create the safety that you're seeking in love? If you have felt safe in love, oh, cheat code. If your answer was, I felt safe in love when I was fully loving myself, that's always the solution to everything. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. But for those who have felt safe in their loving connections with others, take inventory of the cycles you are currently on with the people around you. What's no longer working? What is working? What is no longer working? What is working? What is no longer working? What is working? So I have a rose quartz pendulum us, and all for the highest vibrational good only. Please connect us to our highest intentions and validate information from our highest self only. Please release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. Let me know if you feel a difference before and after the prayer in people's healing experiences. They like different tools that we have as energy healing practitioners, and prayer is definitely one of them. So you let me know in the comment section if you felt a difference. So I'm going to continue to hold this space, sweetness, and I want you to see how beautiful and sweet your energy is, and pull in all of that energy from the universe to your heart, to wrap it in a sense of protection and security, so that you are able to perceive the interactions you have in your life from a healthy way, healthy dynamics, not just from the perspective of you were taught that love looks this way, and maybe that wasn't the best love, but then you go out in the world and you seek the same kind of love, hoping that you'll always be able to resolve it. Just get off the cycle. Get off the wheel. And free yourself to a space where you can truly define and require the type of love that you, sweetness, need to feel safe. And that's going to look different to different people. You, my sweet baby, need something different than I do. And that's what makes things cool, interesting, and unique. If we all needed the same thing, it would be boring. But you won't be able to know truly what you need unless you let go of what you don't need. Sometimes we have those periods in our life where we have to let go of the things to allow us to grow into the things that we need. this moment and finally release. Sweetness, if anything came up for you during the session, feel free to use the comment section in order to share that. Also, share words of encouragement to those who are in the community as well. You have been doing such a great job. You have been working on yourself. And this is a moment really to define a sense of feeling, like you can be safe in love. And again, we have to look at love as being dynamic. It is not just about romance. It can be, but romance, platonic, family, and even shared groups that you share a common passion with. All of those things make us to be who we are, and we should surround ourselves by energy that supports that. Well, family, I have truly enjoyed our session today. We are nearing the end of Nonstop November But Fun, and I'm so curious how it has been for you. A lot of internal transformations, I'm sure. And just to do a little bit of housekeeping, if you would like to be a part of our mystical self-care community, head on over to the Patreon community. That's Patreon, Reiki Healing Hope. And we will be doing a giveaway in December for our channel's birthday. And the Patreon members will get a spot in the 2022 Reiki Master Teacher training. So all of the trainings that are included in that is just something that has always been a perk of the Patreon community, as well as all of the things we've been working on before, which you will have access to, and all the things that we continue to work on week by week. It is just a beautiful, lovely group, as well as our energy healing circles. Energy healing circles originally started here on YouTube, and then it became something that is very beautiful within the Patreon community. It's so lovely to get caught up with each and every one of you each month as you are part of that Patreon community. Also, we have the weekly moon cycle readings on Array Tarot, which is available for you to, just see what's going on with the week. And we also have Reiki Healing Speaks, where we have Reiki sessions and we go over all of these mystical, esoteric themes, but just not in ASMR. As well as we have the Organize Your Purpose podcast, and by we, I mean me, where we go over more, and by we, again, I still mean me, where I go over the entrepreneurial aspects of chasing your dreams and living the life that you want to live. So I am always grateful to be able to live this moment, and also to use all of these years of learning these different modalities, of which I thought nobody would care about, and look, y'all care about it. So that's super cool, and I love to share that with you. And if I could say anything, the reason why I offer so many things, besides the fact that I have so many interests, is because in life I am in a state of peace in general. I got regular things that happen to me, like, oh, this is irritating or this is nice, but I'm in a state of peace. And a big reason of why I'm at a state of peace, and I stay at a state of peace, is because I've learned all these modalities, and I've figured out which tools I like to use as an individual that helps me bring perspective. But I constantly and often see people struggle, still going through the experience. So I just try my best to help and bridge the gap. And as I say, take what you need and leave what you don't. Well, family, really enjoyed this time. Also, if you want to become a Reiki Master Teacher, the certifications are currently available for the Solitaire Approach. Link in the description. Okay, now, well, family, I've enjoyed our time together. But if you haven't heard it, let me go ahead and say it. Wash your hands for at least 30 seconds. Don't touch your face. Wear a mask in public, and be sweet to yourself. And you're going to stay in a perpetual state of happiness at all times. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying you shouldn't be disproportionately pulled to the other side of sadness all the time. We want to get you right in the middle, okay? So if you're new to the community, babies, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your nightly, daily, or whenever you come here. Self-care, routine, self-care place. So you come, you be here, you enjoy kiss on the forenoggin. And for all of my returning babies, you get multiple kisses. Mama loves you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start our session off with a prayer. It's not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, may I hold your hand? Okay, sounds good. You ready? Dear universe and all for the highest vibration of good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And again, you can say Ashe. From the Yoruba, you can say Ki or Chi. From traditional Chinese medicine, you can say life force, energy, whatever interpretation or understanding of life force energy that's on you. I tell you all the time, I don't care what you choose. So, I just want to give you this final reminder. Join the pre-week if you would like to experience the apprenticeship. Once it's closed, it's closed. Don't be trying to come and sneak in there after that, okay? The pre-week is free, so you really don't have anything to lose to enjoy it. I just want to give you an opportunity to feel this undivided attention and uninterrupted space of working on yourself for that week, or if you choose to continue the program for the rest of the year. So let's just start to move through sadness. Okay, so I hope that just from the couple of minutes we've been together, you're starting to feel better. That is one of the top things that people say to me when I ask, okay, so what do you like? What do you like about this stuff we're doing? And they say that they like the way that they feel. In those moments, I'm like, great, because that was the point. So, let's just go with this. Okay. First of all, give yourself permission to have feelings, okay? No matter how you're feeling today. Maybe you're feeling good, you know. Give yourself permission to have feelings. Don't beat yourself up for feeling low or for something that has happened to you, kind of making you all in your feels, you know. It's okay. It's okay. And also think about it in this kind of way. You're going to have to learn how to react to things in a different way. Sometimes we develop patterns of reaction when we're younger or after going through some pretty serious stuff. And then we start to react to things that maybe aren't so serious. That's some strong wind. Maybe some things that aren't so serious in a strong way as well. I feel like the wind is growling. Jesus. I mean, it's saying amen. It's giving a ditto. That's the feeling that's coming through. Like, you know, you better say that. Don't worry, I will. Anyway, so just working through this and just let it go. Okay, let it go. And when I say it's a choice, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not diminishing how intense the feelings are. I'm saying don't look at things as just happening to you. Look at yourself as being able to influence and impact things that are happening to you as well. Because when you look at it from that perspective, you'll be more likely to take action in the places that you can't take action. So just working through that. Okay. Just working through that. Just moving that through. Okay. Now, what does sweetness mean? Sweetness means you don't give up, you know. You gonna be happy today. there's so many things you can still do. It's those moments where your back is pushed against the wall, where you start to think and do things very boldly. So don't find the sadness as a place of like, ooh, find it as a place of like, well, whatever, I'm about to do whatever I want to do, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. See it from that kind of perspective. And you know, sometimes you gotta let yourself feel, okay? You don't need to stay there forever, feeling deep sorrow, but sometimes that also colors our perspective. It gives us a different quality to the things that we're doing. So it's okay to feel, it's okay to show up. It's just don't when it becomes a very, very big thing, when it becomes a perpetual feeling of sadness. That's when you have to pull yourself back to the other side. And the most important thing is your environment, to be honest, when you have a balanced environment, you'll be able to you'll be more in control of your feelings, versus when you don't have a balanced environment, it really feels like sheer willpower trying to, balance yourself while other people are not balanced. So the universe will pull you in a more balanced environment, but a lot of times that means you gotta let people go. You gotta let those toxic people go. And just because someone is toxic doesn't mean they're a bad person. I'm sure that in certain times in my life, I wasn't the best person to be around, and I needed to be removed from somebody's space and energy. So I want you to think about it like that. It's not that, everybody's the victim and then there's, a villain somewhere. It's not that at all. It's just this environment is not best for you if it perpetually makes you feel a certain way. So you have to free yourself and move yourself. And also, sometimes it's not even a negative thing. For example, your heart might be somewhere else, and in the environment you're at, everybody else's heart is over here. So it's not even a negative or a bad thing. It's just you all feel differently, and you have to trust your art. You have to go where it flows with you and fills you up and gives you energy and all of that stuff. Again, I just want to remind you, it doesn't have to, just because sometimes people feel like it has to be some big negative thing because they want to go, but no, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It can just be something in your heart, and the sadness might be like feeling like, why I gotta stay here, versus, you know what, just forget it, just go, just do what you gotta do within reason. But do what you gotta do and be sweet to yourself. Be like, hey, I did the best I could, I'm doing the best I can, and I'm gonna rock with me. Whatever happens, I'm gonna rock with me. Rain or shine, I'm gonna rock with me. So just trust yourself enough that through everything you're feeling, you will find hope, you will find understanding, you will find balance. Side note, somebody reached out to me and they were like, I didn't realize how clever our community name was. They're like Reiki Healing Hope. They thought my name was Hope, and I was like, what a great idea. In that moment, I wish my name was Hope, because wouldn't that have been cool this whole time? Reiki Healing Hope. Hi, my name is Hope. Reiki Healing Hope. No, my name is Jet Lachey. Or Jessica. So no, but I thought that was cool. But anyway, back to rocking with it. We just gonna rock with it. We just gonna do our own thing, We just gonna find balance. neck. You can also pull from the brow, and that pulling motion, and ideally you'd probably pinch it and pull. Pinch it and pull. That can be really soothing and helping to relieve headaches energetically. But yes, so let's prepare our energy, and this is more of a receiving and just a healing over the crown and down about shifting into this new life. And I want to throw that out. I'm gonna let you know that's a Easter egg right there, not for actual, but for so just remember that. Anyway, so we're shifting, and an important word is shift. And so we're shifting into our new life. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Look, you do not have to have the answer to everything at all times. That's okay. All you have to do is just come up with a strategy of how you want to approach life and just go after it. I think that's the simplest thing that any one of us can do. Just decide on how you want to live this life. And I think you cannot take everyone with you. That's kind of a hard lesson that I definitely had to learn and am learning. But you cannot take everyone with you, and also you can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to do. What is the saying? You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I love y'all so much because I be saying some of these sayings and I be forgetting them, and then I read the comments and it's like that's really what the saying was. So I really appreciate that. But you know me, I'm always going for a metaphor in order to try to explain something like this. But anyway, shifting over into this experience of life is something that's amazing. Can you imagine having a life now that you get to decide what is important? Not how do you optimize your life for a structure that someone else has created, but you get to be the builder of that experience of life, rather than just a participant in someone else's grand plan. So look at yourself and think about, what is it that you want? Okay, so let's take 3 more breaths to anchor it in. What is it that you want? want you to see where you want to be and what you would like to be doing in, let's say, a year, 3 years, 5 years. Open yourself up to that. What would your life look like? Who would you be? What kind of energy would you have? Now, I want you to see anything that is standing in your way from getting there. It doesn't have to be something, and it also doesn't have to be a complicated thing. Whatever's in the way, look at it, examine it, and figure out a way to get to the other side. Are you gonna hop over it, dig under it, go around it, go in another direction, teleport, I don't know, whatever it is that you're doing? Connect in there, connect into that energy, and trust yourself. Trust what you're saying. I am this. Now, it's not even just I want to be this, but it's more of I am this. This is who I am. And I want to express that now. I want that energy to expand so wide that so many people can connect with who you are without you having to explain yourself, just honestly by your energy. You ever meet someone who just has strong energy, good or bad? You're like, whoa, that's some strong energy. You felt it. You felt it when you came in the room. A lot of people probably felt it. But to have that energy and also to be protected at the same time, stepping into this next chapter of your life and who you are, knowing that you will be and do your best here, that there is nothing to be afraid of, and that you will win whatever it is that you're seeking and searching for. You will find, and enjoying every moment of this experience is the most important part. I'm just going to lightly tap the tops of your head. Okay. Just moving through that and relaxing through this and shifting the energy and bringing it together for yourself. Bringing it together for yourself. How many dreams do you have? Honestly, what are some things that you wanted or you wish you would have been or done? Now, let some of those things go. They are past their prime of taking up space in your energy. But those other things that you want to explore, that you still have a lot of time to figure out, bring them to the forefront and start to see your life shift with you being more involved in those things. are certain setbacks that we're not on the right path. When we are on the right path, then that might cause us to restart over and over and over again, thinking that if we're on the right path, everything is going to be so easy or something like that. And so I invite you in this space to just relax and to relieve and release that pressure that you may be putting on yourself for everything to go perfect, babies. Goodness gracious. So if you're new, welcome babies. This is your nightly self-care routine. This is a place where you come, you take care of yourself. I love on you. I give you some good energy, but most importantly, you set this time out for yourself and you take care of yourself. So welcome babies. So welcome to all my new babies, and welcome back to all my returning babies. Mama loves you. So we start the session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, it's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and to bring us together as a community and as a collective, this collective consciousness. And because consent matters, to have your permission to say a prayer. Okay, may I touch you? Okay, you ready? Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and invalidate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that brings light up through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe. 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 Okay. So, babies, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do some cleansing. So, do we want a history lesson? I'll save the history lesson for the Reiki Master Teacher cohort on herbs. But I'll go with our go-to herbs. As an Easter egg. Okay, so we're gonna go with some cinnamon for some cleansing, per usual, and breathe that in and out. And so the wonderful thing about cinnamon is very grounding. It's actually really good for money. Money cleanses. Cinnamon at the front door. And what I've noticed about burning cinnamon is that it can burn a very, very long time. The smoke typically isn't that much, and the flame really doesn't burn that bright, but it can burn, or it can stay lit right there for quite a while, whereas other things with a greater smoke might have already gone out. And so this is just a reminder that, sometimes instead of feeling like you gotta burn bright, just doing the best you can, just being consistent where you can is probably more important than feeling like you have to be perfect all the time, or feeling like you have to kind of be on your A game all the time, I know how it feels to be a perfectionist. And it was really bad when I was in high school. But I get it now, it was all an opportunity to have a deeper relationship with myself and to slow down. Because there's almost like this false sense that you can control things. You can put forth effort, you can shape, but ultimately things can be a mystery at the same time. And so when you're a perfectionist, you think that doing these things down to the last detail puts you in a sense of control, or at least makes you feel better, when at the end of the day, it's more of like, it's just an opportunity to learn that even if you do everything right, some things don't turn out the way that you want them to. something great and just didn't even realize that's what we were doing. So you don't have to control everything. So the path that you have in front of you, I'm gonna trust that you know what you like. You've lived a long enough life to know what are some things you're passionate about, and what are some areas that you've already traveled down in your life. And I'm just in this moment trying to get you comfortable with accepting those things that you love, because a lot of times people know what they love, but they practice or they reinforce not trusting themselves. So just simply by liking something, they just automatically don't trust it. And so in this moment, I'm trying to do the work to just clear that out for you, so you don't feel like you have to associate your hopes and dreams with something negative. Okay. And just clear that out. Now, on top of that, let's take it to a deeper level, which is understanding that you're going to feel different at different times in the journey. Sometimes you're going to feel motivated, sometimes you're going to feel stagnant, sometimes you're going to feel like you're moving fast, sometimes you feel like you're not moving at all, sometimes you feel like you're moving backwards. There's going to be big things that happen in a good way, or big things that happen in a not so good way. That is a part of life, but that in no way means that the path is not right. If you wake up every morning and you feel this desire to, or this life purpose to have whatever this, stuff is that you're doing, then that's a part of the journey. It is the resiliency that is building character and creating the foundation of whatever it is that you are here to share with the universe, or a little gift that the universe has given to you to share with us in the physical. So don't confuse, some days you might not feel so good, or having bad days, or just things not going the way that you thought, as, oh, am I in the wrong path? The wrong path is more of like you're doing it for someone else. You're not really, there's no desire there. You think it's a kind of get there quick kind of situation. Oh, I want to do this because rationally it makes sense, as opposed to you're passionate about it. And also, this is really a practice on vulnerability. Can you imagine how vulnerable you have to be with yourself to follow your path, your dreams, and to build and shape it and mold it in a way where it can nourish you, can take care of you financially, can support you energetically and internally. And that takes time. That takes time. That takes molding, and that takes shifting, and that takes movement. And that's a part of the process. I have all of these more health related analogies that I think I'm gonna save for the Reiki Master teacher cohort, because it kind of makes more sense. Sometimes I throw these analogies out here, y'all. It's not that y'all don't understand, but I think it's kind of like so I'll save that for that. Keep breathing here. Just release. Let go. Let go. And just take a couple deep breaths in and out. And find how you feel. Find your courage. Find your second wind. Or find your peace. And relax and chill. I've been saying this for almost 4 years. You can't get it wrong. Even when you think that you're making choices in your life that aren't necessarily a straight path to where you think you need to go. All these things you're doing, they're built shaping you for your next, whatever that is. So you cannot get it wrong. All you have to do is just experience, enjoy, be frustrated sometimes. All of those things are okay. They're acceptable human reactions to life. But I think we live in a time where information comes to us so quickly that we think that what we see is reality, meaning that when we see these curated lives, or that we see these, glimpses into the happy moments of people's lives, that we think that that's the life they're living all the time. When I think everybody has their good days, their bad days, their happy days, their sad days, their motivated days, their, less motivated days. The goal isn't to have a lot of good days. The goal, I think, is more of self-acceptance, to still be in the journey with yourself regardless of if the days are good or not so good. To still see that purpose even when you're nervous or when you're excited. And I think that it's different when it comes to age. If you're younger and all you've known is like a world of social media, it's going to be harder to think outside the box. If you're older and you've known a life before social media, you'll get it, but it'll be harder to break the habits that you've already established in your life. So just understand that you have all the power within you to shift your mindset, to change your mind, to grow. I find myself growing within cycles, sometimes daily, sometimes a couple of months, or shifting over the years. And I'm one of those people that I like to question and challenge everything, and I challenge everything that I believe in, or I see as truth, because I think that truth is ever expanding. That's why I like history so much, because history isn't really so concrete as we think. The more that history goes forward, the more references that we discover from the past, and history gets to expand. And so I like to look at life in that kind of way as well, that it is expanding, that I am expanding, that I am growing, that I have a healthy cynicism and a healthy optimism towards most things, that maybe perhaps that cycle of self-acceptance over and over and over again, with new outcomes that we encounter each day to kind of test us, is probably more important than actually reaching whatever that goal is. Do you actually like yourself? Regardless of what you see, what you're being exposed to, what someone tells you, can you still like yourself? Even if it feels like the world doesn't like you. Or sometimes I think it's not that the world doesn't like you, sometimes it just be in the mind, because maybe you don't see a representation of you, both in those more systemic levels or on an individual level. And I think on an individual level that kind of makes more sense, because you're the only you out there. No one's gonna walk the path the way that you did. That's why I think it's important to make those happy and healthy mistakes and take your time. Yeah, I think that as time expands, I know I personally just become less rigid of things having to happen a certain way. I about outcomes needing to be set. And I like to go on adventures every 10 years. I like to go on an adventure. I'll tell myself, like, this is the adventure that I'm going on. I haven't had many 10 years, but I like to think, well, what do I want to accomplish here? And just, surrender to the universe, let it happen, enjoy it, go with it, not doubt yourself, not think that just because it's you that for some reason it won't work out. I don't think that that's fair, because I think that at the end of the day we represent a collective consciousness, a collective energy of the universe, and we want to be great stewards of the universe, a great example of the universe. And I think a part of that is 100% self-acceptance, even when times are tough, when times are great, when time is moving fast, and when time is moving slow, and accepting that we're allowed to have feelings in all kinds of ways. So I hope that that message really met you where you were at, and hopefully just took some of the pressure off of feeling like you're not where you need to be, because that's not the case at all. It's always my intention in this community that it is a space in which people feel as though they can just come and just relax, find their own way, wander about, get to some epiphany, then maybe challenge and question again, but just know that it didn't have to be a community where you had to think a certain way or you had to follow a certain path, that there was always room for growth, there was room for change, there was room for a multitude of expressions. But I think the most important thing is a place of community where you can come and be surrounded by people who are on a similar path to you, just trying to find their way, and to take the pressures of life off. So I hope that that's what comes across. That's definitely my intention. And thank you for allowing me to host this space. It brings a lot of interesting experiences into my life to be the host of this space. Well, babies, if no one has said it, let me go ahead and do an example of what it would be like having a week in the Reiki Master Teacher Training Apprenticeship. And so you can use the link in the description box, and it is completely free, and it is this week only, because the last day to sign up for the full cohort, the full apprenticeship, will be August 28th. So jump in and enjoy that today, and I hope, and my intention is, by the end of the pre-week, you will be very clear on maybe some short-term goals that you have, or reconnecting with yourself. A lot of people come into the apprenticeship because they want to do more energy healing, or perhaps they are on their own healing journey. So it's open to all who are interested in coming into that space. So if you're new to the community, we start the session off with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer. It's just a prayer to root us in our individual healing experience and bring us together as a community and as a collective. And because consent matters, do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay. Inhale, exhale. Dear universe, and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information from our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring just remembered, I don't think I said love you the other night, my bad, and to not touch your face and to wash your hands. I don't think I said that the other day, my bad. You know my heart. Okay, so let's go for being overwhelmed. So, feeling a sense of collective overwhelmed energy. And I think that this has a lot to do with just multiple levels, okay? We're entering into, I'm gonna give you some background. It's two things. Two things. The first, I think, is a lot to do with Saturn. It's three things: Saturn, Mercury, and recession. So I'm just gonna explain it to you while working to just release that feeling of being overwhelmed. So first thing is Saturn. Saturn is in Aquarius. Saturn will be going into Pisces March 2023. Saturn in Pisces is all about faith, and it's all about trusting in the divine. And there is this feeling that you're going to be okay, but what it looks like on the outside is kind of like things that make you, not everybody else, but you in particular, they kind of make you feel insecure. They make you feel like and the trick to this is you have to go inside. We have to develop Pisces qualities. Pisces energy is not about the external. Pisces energy is about understanding the internal. It is about understanding energy itself. Because people with a heavy Pisces energy in their natal charts, they want to learn how to, or they unconsciously follow the energy of people in order to manifest in life what it is they're looking for. So they don't care about what it looks like on the outside. Most of the time it does, and sometimes they for an effect have this really, wild outside, because they are actually very practical when it comes to someone's internal energy. And you're not going to see that in other signs or other sign dominance. So you may not be a Pisces, but you might have a very heavy Pisces placement in your chart. So you might do this in a certain area, and it's very unconscious. So what you have to do during this time for the next 2 years, and we're starting to feel it now, is you have to 100% surrender to the universe and say, I trust you, because what's going to happen is sometimes things are like the Tower card. It looks really, really scary, but you need the Tower card to break down foundations that no longer work for you. And that is how Pisces energy does it. And what it does is it takes you from where you're at to where you need to go in a very, very quick manner. It can only do that by, breaking down those structures very quickly. It's not likely that it will happen just very, quickly and everything stays intact. No, because when you keep things the way they were, and you try to go somewhere else, it's always alluring to come back. And so Pisces energy, Saturn specifically in Pisces, does that by destroying what was the old so that you are not tempted to go back and to go towards your true strength, evolution, and blessing. So that's that overwhelming energy that's coming up, because you about to have to deal with something, but don't be afraid of that. It's hard to explain to people to not be afraid of that, because it's like, oh no, I don't want to feel uncomfortable. You don't want to feel your life drastically change, and know that you will be supported the entire time. That's a good thing. That's a really, really, really good thing. It might test you in the moment where you're like, ugh. And to all of my babies with Pisces returns, let me think, what year is that? I think it's you're born 1993 to 5. I think that's the Saturn return in Pisces. I gotta double check in my head. But yeah, y'all are gonna feel it the most, but it's really, really, really gonna transform your life, very much so. So if you have always been trusting the universe, you've always been surrendering, you've always been following this energy, you're gonna see a lot of beautiful things happen to you. If you have not, if you've been working against it, now the universe is gonna be like, or Saturn is gonna be like, boom, you gotta get to where we need you to get to. So don't doubt yourself, you can do it. So what that means for everybody else is, just take a deep breath, inhale and exhale, and trust in the oneness within. Mercury. So we have a Mercury about to go in retrograde in Virgo. I'm going to be doing a live on Friday that's going to really talk about this more. But the Mercury in retrograde in Virgo is all of y'all. Everybody is going to be looking at their job, not their career. You may be at peace with what you want to do and what you want your career legacy to be, but your 9 to 5, your everyday job, what it is, if you do gigs, if you have a full-time job, it is really going to come to perspective at this time, because how it was before is not working out for what you need now. And what I'm hearing from a lot of people is that this, work yourself till you're exhausted, getting not paid enough but having to overperform doesn't work for them, because during, everything that happened with COVID and things like that, during that time, a lot of people had a lot of time, not everybody, but a lot of people had a lot of time to themselves to actually figure out what it feels like to not always be on the move. And then they realized, okay, I think for my internal health, I need to have a more balanced environment. But once things started to get back up and going, it was almost expected that workers would return and just want to jump into doing everything the way that they did it, before. And it's like, nah, that's unrealistic. You can't have rising rents, you can't have rising food, you can't have all of this other rising stuff and wages remaining stagnant, or even if wages are decent but the working conditions are unrealistic, you can't have that. It's just, and that's more of a societal structure of how things are and how, businesses make money within this particular societal structure. So during this time, and that's going to be the pre-shadow period, is the 28th. And so for all of y'all who are going to be joining the apprenticeship, this is actually going to be really, really great, because it's going to be very balanced and grounding for you during this time. And the apprenticeship is a whole year, so you get that support during that too. But the pre-shadow period is going to be August 28th. And then the actual retrograde, I believe, is around September 10th, I think. And it goes direct, meaning it leaves the retrograde August 1st. So if you happen to have birthdays during that time, just try not to plan things that are too big, because it might, like, the details might be really, really rough. And I know y'all Virgos like them details. But during that time, so September 10th to October 1st, you're going to feel all types of work discomfort, because what the universe wants, and specifically Mercury wants from you, is to understand that your working environment has to support your soul's purpose as well. That the way that you make money so that you can live out whatever reason why you incarnated into this experience has to support you. It can't be having you working crazy hours. It can't be having you do things that is not in connection with you, because understand your job might be perfect for somebody else, and there's a job out there that someone else had to let go that you feel connected to. You might need to create your own job. You might need to have a whole new set of circumstances and situations in which you look at income and you look at money. But at the end of the day, this is not necessarily just the money, even though money may come up as a theme during this time. It's more about your responsibilities and your duties. So for all of those who are self-employed or have their own business or something like that, they want to start something, this time is about responsibility. It's going to feel very, very uncomfortable to have to show up each day and do what you need to do. But if you do it, you will be rewarded. If you don't do it, you'll still be where you're at the end of the retrograde. And you have to keep working towards it and working towards it. So all of these things, that's what people are feeling right now. They're feeling this nervous energy going on, this feeling of being overwhelmed, because their soul knows what they're about to go do. But you're fully capable of doing all of these things. You're fully able to do it, and it's going to catapult your life to where you want it to be, especially when you get to the end of the Saturn and Pisces in like 2-3 years, 2.5 years. It's really going to be revealed, all of this hard work that you did. And that's okay. That's okay. Start thinking in years, I'm not as introverted as I thought I was. The reason why I need my own energy is that if I am going to create, and this is to this Saturn and Pisces, if I'm going to create a reality that is not my current reality, I cannot always be in connection to energy that is validating the current reality. I have to be connected to energy of the reality I want. And if I don't have that around me, I have to be in my own energy in order to be balanced. And then I can go and, be around the people that I enjoy being around, and it doesn't really matter, where their energy's at. But I have to be checking in with myself energetically. I don't have to sit down and have a whole conversation with myself all the time, but just being in this space and being like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and I'm going to put in the effort, because Virgo energy is not just about the routine or the responsibility, it's actually doing it. You have to do it. It's not about just knowing, it's you actually have to follow through. Also, this is going to be a time for your pets too, so you might want to, you might notice that a pet shows up in your life, or your pet might be having some kind of issues, or your own personal health. So if it's not work, it's not pets, it could be your personal health as well. So as you all know, I love to talk about nutrigenomics, and I probably should do a special on nutrigenomics for this time, because we have to look at health in our healthy bodies differently. There is no such thing as this unanimous clean eating. No such thing. What is clean to me may not be clean to you in your specific body's needs, even if it's unprocessed food. So we can't put these blanketed things on people. And what nutrigenomics is, it's basically talking about that each individual person needs their own individual approach to their actual nutrition and healthcare and things like that. And so that's important during this time, because Virgo energy is about the body actually working the way it needs to. So you're going to be realigned there. So there might be health concerns or health initiations, wanting to be healthy, but not the aesthetic look of gotta look this way, but more of the internal. Like, I want my blood levels to be this way. I want to get enough physical activity in my life, because I know I feel this way when I do this. So I want to incorporate this type of thing that helps me feel really good and feel connected. That's what's coming up. And finally, a recession. But let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you a secret, okay? If you've ever been broke, if you've ever been poor, if you've ever been like working class, in certain areas, and I'm going to say this from a U.S. perspective, in certain areas, yes, when there is a really big industry that in a recession hits, you can be significantly impacted. And being that close to just living paycheck to paycheck, not having enough, is completely hard. But I'm going to tell you the gift about growing up, not having money. You learn how to live life with less money. So the things that, if you're raised in a certain economic class, and you didn't have to think about budgeting, or you didn't have to make things stretch, y'all know about a stretch meal, exactly, or you didn't have to learn how to, I'm trying to, like, how do I say, I don't want to say what we used to call it growing up, but you learn how to figure out how to turn things into what you needed. I'm not gonna say what we used to call it. Turn things into what you needed. It's a very innovative time. And so during this time period, use all of those skills and keep going forward. Keep figuring it out, because you can use that momentum to discover new avenues of income. You don't always have to do the traditional things you've always done, which is go out and just work for somebody else. You might be working for somebody else, and then you might realize that you have an additional skill, and you get very innovative and creative. Okay, how can I get this skill out to other people? How can I create and pull more income in? How can I? So get out there and get on that grind and that hustle. And when you're able to live from that mentality, not from fear, not even the mentality of lack, but the mentality of, I'm gonna figure this out, because houses, but there was something called like renting a room. You know how like a person could have a house and then a person could have an apartment, but you can even do that. Like, for example, someone might rent a basement, but there was even that, like renting rooms. So I remember growing up, especially when I first got into college, because I was like, I didn't know anybody who had ever gone to college. I was like, you know, and I had to pay for everything myself. And I remember feeling like, okay, even if the ish hits the fan, I know I just gotta find somewhere to rent a room. I know how to make these struggle meals. I know how to get what I need. I know how to survive off of what I need. And so, you know, people may call it lean times, but when you practically know, even if maybe you don't want to rent a room, it's okay, but like you practically know there is a solution to any obstacle that shows up. There is a solution. You're good to go. And that is a part of the lesson of what Mercury is saying. Mercury is like, do not count yourself out. Do not say you can't do it. Because during those times, you might find that you figure out how to amplify your life to make your life better. Because while a lot of people are nervous and scared, you're out here doing what you need to do, connecting yourself to your soul's journey and your soul's mission. Okay, babies. Well, I hope that really helped to calm down the feeling of being overwhelmed. I didn't think it was going to go into a whole big explanation, but I'm really big on explaining things, because if you were to just come to this healing and I'm just take the feeling of overwhelmed energy, guess what? Once you have to think about the problems again, you're going to feel overwhelmed again. So I like to explain to people that a lot of things we feel as a collective can be cycles within the universe, can explain bigger phenomena that's happening, and we are more in control than we think. You know, a lot of what we feel like in life is brainwashing. And when I say brainwashing, sometimes intentionally people are trying to market to you and make you buy things, but other times it's just the social order, like society, a certain group of people, especially the lower that you are at the bottom, you have to maintain a certain mentality in order to lift everything up. But what I'm trying to tell you is that no matter where you're at, if you shift your mentality, you will see opportunities right in front of you, and it is okay to act on those, even if everybody else is scared. That don't got nothing to do with you. And at the same time, like I said, you don't have to be risky. A lot of these things you can do with no money. It's just figuring out what skill you have and figuring out how to connect that with people who are in need of that skill. So bringing that down now. Connecting the crown to the third eye, right there. So as we are working with the third eye, we want to unblock anything that takes up too much space, anything that clouds our judgment, just going to start right here at the crown chakra, and our crown, the tip, the top, the tip of our head, is a powerful place within many lineages and traditions that holds a lot of meaning. It represents the mind, or the availability we're going to start right here at the crown chakra, and our crown, the tip, the top, the tip of our head, is a powerful place within many lineages and traditions that holds a lot of meaning. It represents the mind, or the availability trust in yourself. You are not in any position that you cannot figure your way through. And you want to work smarter, not harder, okay, babies? Find your peace. Find your grace, your balance, your strong energy, and do what you need to do. Disconnect, reconnect, whatever it is you need. Give yourself